Hi there, this is Chris from motorheads.com, and today I wanted to take the time out to speak about the recently unveiled GT3 RS MR and how it compares to the standard GT3 RS. So this is going to be about the 992.1 generation. So let's get started. So for those of you unaware, Manthey is a German auto racing team that has been a partner with Porsche since its founding in 1996. Manthey Racing competes in the Nürburgring Endurance Series and the GT2 European Series. They also run the GT Works competition for Porsche Motorsport in the FIA World Endurance Championship. Moving on. Beyond motorsports, of course, Manthey also developed performance kits for Porsche road cars, which are available through Porsche Equipment. They're based at the Nürburgring, so which is the place where most performance cars are benchmarked and tested. And Porsche owns 51% of the company, and in 2021, they became a full motorsport partner for the German automaker. Now, the kit itself took close to 2 years to develop. It's basically for those GT3 RS owners who don't treat their cars like garage queens. The kit aims to exploit every last bit of performance that's possible from the GT3 RS platform, being the 992.1 on the racetrack. And they had a few key challenges that they had to tackle, one of which was how do they increase downforce and stability without increasing drag. This was accomplished through a series of computational fluid dynamics, or CFD of in short. So the simulations that they carried out to help them actually design the kit, right? Okay, so moving on. Basically, the Manthey kit focuses on four key areas. It's going to be aerodynamics, weight savings, suspension, and the brakes. Um, so in total, you have close to 70, you have 17 additional components over the standard GT3 RS that tackles each of the aforementioned areas. And I'll touch upon each of them in a lot more detail in the subsequent slides. If you stick around, I'll actually show you some more exclusive shots of the GT3 RS MR that made its global debut recently at the Icons of Porsche event in Dubai. And I had a chance to take an up close look, speak to uh, Michael Grassel from Manthey Racing, who also gave me some insights about the car. So let's move on to uh, the first area, that comes with the Manthey kit. So let's handle downforce. Okay, so the kit features a 50 longer spoiler lip up front that you can see right here compared to the standard GT3 RS, and it's supported by these two carbon fiber flexible struts. You also get two additional dive planes on each side of the front bumper compared to the standard GT3 RS, and all of these components are designed to push the front end and add more downforce, right? So now this particular front three-quarter shot actually gives us a much better view of how it compares to the standard car. Also along the sides, you can see the compared to the standard GT3 RS, you have the gurney flap, whose basic function is to, excuse me, increase lift by manipulating the airflow. Okay, moving on. Aerodynamics, of course, is going to be of paramount importance on any track-bred machine. And you can see on the roof, one particular bit that I wanted to speak about was you have you have these two roof strakes. You just got two of them on the standard GT3 RS, whereas on the Manthey kit you have six more for a total of eight. So why is that? What's the basic function for? So the function of these additional strakes is to basically prevent the hot air that's coming out of the front radiator and prevent it from entering into the rear engine, the rear engine intake, the air intake, right? Um, so you can see them a lot closer right here. You can see how they basically act as vortex generators and prevent that air from getting the dirty air from getting into the air intake. And instead, they channel that air to actually go and hit the rear wing instead. You can also look at take a closer look at the central carbon fin that was added, and this is again to improve straight line stability. Now, taking a closer look at that rear wing, which is mounted on the swan neck mounts, compared to it's basically a split carbon fiber DRS or drag reduction system wing. Now, compared to the standard GT3 RS, which features a single piece wing, a split wing with a larger surface area allows in maintaining a more steady airstream. It increases the surface area, and this is yet another component that contributes to increased downforce and reducing drag. Moving on, we have, of course, the carbon aero disc hubcaps right here for the lightweight magnesium wheels. And these are functional. They do serve an aerodynamic function, believe it or not. They support the rear wing that you see right here, along with the diffuser to actually effectively produce downforce. So they all work together. And this particular view actually gives us a good shot of the rear and how dramatically different the GT3 RS MR is compared to the standard car. You can see there's a lot more going on in terms of the aero package, right? And here's an up-close look at that rear diffuser that I spoke about. Uh, uh, it's far more wider than the standard car, and these elongated carbon fins actually help in enhance the downforce without increasing drag. Uh, if you look underneath the standard car, apparently this is something that Manthey explicitly mentioned in an interview that they did with Top Gear in that exclusive feature that the long diffuser on the standard GT3 RS, right? It's not uh, it's great, but there's still a break in the airflow. So in order to address this, they apparently included not one but two kinks uh, in the rear diffuser in order to maintain a more steady airflow. So you can't really see it here, but this is something that they mentioned in that feature exclusive. So, is it worth? It's also worth noting that these parts cannot be bought or ordered individually, as it would disrupt the balance of the car. Every single component has a role to play, and they need to work together to achieve the desired downforce figures. So, how much downforce are we talking? Now, in this particular case, Manthey say that the downforce has increased by 20% or 2,200 and 4 pounds of downforce, which is about a 220 pound increase over the standard GT3 RS, which has about 1895 pounds at 177 miles an hour. Yes. Moving on to the second area that they focused on, which would be reducing weight or weight reduction. The standard GT3 RS, I mean, this is a top-down view of the standard car. You can see that there's an extensive use of CRPF or carbon fiber reinforced plastic. Um, the GT3 RS MR takes things a step further. Uh, Again, as seen from this rear three-quarter top view, you can see that the rear window has been replaced by carbon fiber, and this saves 25%. This is 25% lighter than the standard GT3 RS. The extensive use of carbon fiber means that the weight savings, as I mentioned, should be pretty substantial. So you can expect it to weigh lesser than the 32 68 pound curb weight of the standard car, and this is of course with the Weissach package. The third area that I wanted to focus on is going to be that Manthey wanted to focus their attention on is improving handling. Now, the GT3 RS out of the box is already a pretty stellar handler, but the increase in downforce numbers can't be handled by the stock GT3 RS suspension. Uh, introduced semi-active coilover suspension for this particular kit, and it basically adjusts the damping force of the shock absorbers in response to the surface conditions. They also added sensors on all four wheels, along with three additional acceleration sensors for the body to allow this automatic damper tuning of the semi-active coilover suspension to happen more seamlessly. This combined with the spring rates that have been increased by 30% on the front axle and 15% on the rear axle has helped improve handling. Unfortunately, this is going to result in a more stiffer ride, but there's lesser body roll, resulting in sharper cornering and better handling. Finally, we move on to brakes, and we have some upgrades here as well. You get steel sheet brake lines for improved pedal feel and response. Now, compared to your to flexible rubber hoses that you generally get, the steel braided brake lines prevent swelling during track duty and transmit hydraulic pressure to the pads more consistently. Also, the kit offers optional racing brake pads, specially optimized for use on track days, but only for those cars equipped with PCCB or Porsche ceramic brakes. The race optimized brake pads provide significantly better stopping power and fade resistance compared to the standard brake pads. They can handle much higher temperatures uh, generated during aggressive braking on the racetrack. Now, beyond these upgrades, you also have a few visual upgrades, as you can see right here. Manthey has come up with a plethora of logos, decals for the bodywork, including illumination for the illuminated dorsals that you see right here. The Manthey lettering itself, based on the exterior shade of the body, can be applied to the car doors, either in neodyme, white, or black. As for this toe hook that you see here, it's available in red, black, or yellow. And this is only for use on the racetrack. If you were looking for powertrain upgrades or something in that department, unfortunately, there's nothing there are no upgrades in that particular area. You still have the same 4-liter naturally aspirated flat six with 518 horsepower and 342 pound-feet of torque, as seen on the standard car. This kit is all about the predominantly, I would say, about the aero and improving handling. So basically, everything that's going to help improve, shaving off precious seconds on the track. Now, Mata has reported that the car feels quicker, especially in medium speed corners. The additional hardware that I mentioned, that I also mentioned before, is again going to help reduce dive, pitch, roll, and during cornering. So in the end, you have a more aerodynamically stable platform compared to the standard car. Has a official lap time been attempted at the rink? Well, no, permitting to because of the weather not permitting. But just for some context, the standard GT3 RS with the Weissach pack has a lap time of 6 minutes and 44 seconds. Manthey says that the GT3 RS MR is about 8 second uh, or they claim, I would say, is about 8 seconds quicker around the Nürburgring than the standard variant. Coming to price, I mean, the Porsche 911 GT3 RS MR will set you back $244,995. Um, And for cars, the kit itself, by itself, for current owners, if you're interested, I mean, it's going to cost you just about $80,000, and it will be available from March next year. Now, if you've stuck around this long, as I promised, here are those exclusive shots from the Icons of Porsche event uh, that took place in Dubai recently, a few weeks back, and you actually had both the standard car right next to the GT3 RS MR, and it was really quite easy to compare the two side by side. As you can see here, here's a closer look at those roof strakes that I spoke about earlier, the 8 vortex generators, the carbon fiber shark fin stabilizer, and the carbon fiber windshield carbon fiber panel, I would say, in place of the rear windshield. This fin apparently was actually inspired by the Porsche 963 hybrid race car that actually competes in the LMDH and IMSA series, and the FIA World Endurance Championship. Moving on, getting back to the car, uh, uh, the larger end plates that you see here. So yes, they do have a specific function in terms of, again, for aerodynamics, they prevent air from slipping over the wingtips. Um, and finally, we have a rear end. This is the penultimate shot, which gives us a closer look at those carbon fiber aero discs for the rear lightweight magnesium wheels. Again, an aerodynamic component, believe it or not. And finally, the rear view shot of where you can get a closer look at that split wing and that aggressive diffuser and the towing eye. So what did you think about the 2025 911 GT3 RS MR? How much quicker do you think that it's going to be over the standard car? We definitely like to know. So please share your thoughts in the comments below. And for more, and in order to read the entire article, please feel free to click the link below and subscribe for more.